Good afternoon, students. In last video, we have started our second chapter, that is Introduction to SEO, Search Engine Optimization. In that, we have covered two points that were first we have seen Introduction to SEO, then types of SEO, that were on-page SEO and off-page SEO. Then we have seen techniques of SEO. There were two techniques, black hat technique and black hat SEO and white hat SEO. In today's lecture, we are going to study SEO page structure optimization and SEO keywords in detail. Now, as we have studied that SEO is a technique which is used to generate traffic, more and more number of traffic on a website. So, how can we generate this traffic on a website? We have seen that there are several methods, several techniques that we have to implement whenever we are using SEO. So, which are these techniques that we will use to gain more number of traffic? Let's see one by one. Whenever we are using this SEO technique, the first thing we consider is normally that we have to optimize our website. Now, how can we optimize our website? What factors we have to consider? There are various sections of a website which can be optimized for the better SEO. So one of them is SEO page structure optimization. Um, means now see, whenever we are generating a website, HTML most of the time HTML is a language which is used to generate or design the website. Now, in any whatever language we are using, each language has its some rules and regulations that we have to follow. So what is the first condition? HTML program should start with exclamation doc type HTML. You might have seen that, see, whenever you open some website in your PC, just right click on that website and open a view source option. So whenever you click on a view source, whatever website you are visiting, a source complete code of that website will be displayed in front of you. Okay, so you can see that starting of that code will always start with doc type HTML tag. So it is compulsory that HTML program should start with doc type HTML tag. We know that HTML programs we are designing, it is based on a tags, because HTML is a tag based language. So whatever effect we have to use in our website, whatever font, if we have to set any font to our uh, website, all this we can do with the help of tags. There are specific tags for each and every purpose in HTML. So now if we are using this tag, there is always a opening tag and its respective closing tag. So whatever content we are going to place within the tag, it should always be placed within opening tag and closing tags. So it is compulsory that you should include both of the tags, open and close. So whenever, for example, now I'm using an image tag, so I will use the attributes of image tag. Okay, and then make sure that I'm using the closing image tag. Next, order of tag should be proper. Most of the time, recently opened tag will closed first. Yeah, it is also very important that in whatever order we are opening the tags, they should be also closed. It is compulsory that we have to close the HTML tags. See, now for example, now I am opening a body tag, after that table tag, after that image tag. Okay, then what will I do? After I have placed the content in image tag, in body tag, then first I will be closing image tag, then I will be closing table tag, and then body tag. So it is necessary that we are using opening tag as well as closing tags in HTML. So all these are basic steps that we need to follow whenever we are optimizing, whenever we are designing a web page. So this is how we can maintain the page structure. Next, let's see what are the important factors, or we can say what are the important tags that we need to include while optimizing the page structure of a website. So first is a title tag. Now title is the first thing that user notices in search result while using Google. Means what? See, when do we use title tag? We first starting with the HTML, then head, and after head tag we are including title tag. In title tag we specify some title and close the title tag. So where is this, whatever title we are specifying, where is this displayed? Whenever you must have seen that whenever you are running your HTML program, then you will see that whatever title you have specified in the title tag, it will be displayed as a title of your website. So even if your website, before loading your website, the title tag will display what your website is about. It will display the title of your website. Then it shows the length of the, now length of the title whatever we are going to include, it is limited. Its content should be up to 60 characters with spaces included. Okay, if your title is too long, it will obviously it will not be displayed at a time. So you should keep in mind that whenever you are specifying the title tag, keep its length limited. Next is a meta description tags. Now what are these meta description tags? While creating a web page, meta description should be used to boost your on-page SEO. Now we have seen that in on-page SEO is concerned with information that we are going to concerned with information that is displayed to the user. Okay, so meta descriptions tag can be used here. So metadata is a tag that defines metadata about HTML document. Means what? Metadata is a information about the data. Whatever information we are providing in a metadata tag, it is usually in short information about the content that we have provided in the website. Means it displays that, in short, it will display that what my website is about, why I have created, what content is provided in my website. Meta tags are typically used to specify character set, page description, keywords, author of a document, and some other information related to our website. Metadata is used by the browsers or the search engines and other web services. Normally, it helps the search engine to identify what content is provided in the website. Means see, whenever if someone is typing something in the search bar, then those will become the keywords. Now see, if I am typing in the search bar something related to types of SEO, okay, then those three will be my keywords. Then if my website is about types of SEO, then and I am specifying in metadata description something about types of SEO, then search engine will able to know that this website is about types of SEO. So based on the use of keywords and some other factors, that search engine is going to rank my website. So that is what is normal use of a metadata. Means it is just for the help of a search engine to identify what the website is about or what content is provided in the website. See, whenever you are opening the source code of any website, you will often see that there is always a meta tag included in that source code. See, here is a simple example about how meta tag is used. See, meta tag is used, after that name attribute is used, then you can provide some name of your website and content. In content attribute, what it is included, whatever information you want to include about your website, that is just displayed in the content attribute. So this is a simple structure. There are also other attributes of a meta tag which you can use. So why do we use meta tags? It helps a search engine or browsers to know or to identify what our website is about. Now see, here's an example of a meta tag. This is here are some search results of meta keywords. Okay, two links are available. So there is before opening the website. Okay, I have not opened that website. Before opening the website, there is some information below that link. See, you can see some information. So that is what information they have specified in a meta tag. Means before opening the website, there is some information related to that website which is displayed to the user, so that user can identify what content is included in that website. So all this content was placed in a meta tag. So now they are displaying that content before the website is opened. So that's why meta tags are used. Now next important tag that we should consider are heading tags. Now see, as I explained that whenever we are considering on-page SEO, whenever we are implementing on-page SEO technique, it is we are main focusing on the information, the way our website is going to be represented to the user. Means what, we have to maintain the appearance of our website. Okay, so the main heading tags play important role while maintaining the appearance of a website. Now there are 6 type of heading tags which are provided by HTML, that is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5 and H6. Now this each tag has its own font size. H1 is the highest of all and S6 is the smallest font size. You can see that in the image. So if I want to specify, show my main title, what my website is about, so that main title I will use in the H1 tag, so that it will be largest. Then if I have a subtitle, if I have to display subtitle, then I can place that content in H2 tag, and I can use further tags as per my requirement. The smallest one is a S6. So what happens here, use of these heading tags in a proper way, in a proper manner, it makes the look of a website attractive. Okay, so we should always use this heading tag whenever we are concerned about the look of or appearance of a website. Next point is image tags with alt attribute. As I was saying, I already explained while we were considering on page SEO, that our website should compulsory contain the images. So now we are whenever we are including images in our website, it makes easy for a user to understand. So they have specified image tag with alt attribute. Why they have specified alt attribute specifically? What does this alt attribute does? Okay, see, the alt attribute gives information about the image. So even if the image does not download, it can make the viewers understand the image related information. Means what, see, sometimes it happens with us that whenever we are loading some website, whenever we click on some website, it takes some time. If images are included in a website, then it takes some time for that images to load. Text is loaded easily. Okay, if there are some network issues, then images are loading very slowly. So what does alt attribute do? Whenever we are using this alt attribute, we can specify some short information related to that image in the alt attribute, so that even if a image is taking time to load, that whatever information we have specified in alt attribute, that will be displayed to the user in place of that image. And after that, whenever image will be loading, image will be displayed. See, in this picture you can see what is the use of alt attributes. In these two boxes, image is not loaded, so instead of that image, a simple text is displayed. Okay, so after the image will be loaded, image will be displayed. So that is the use of a alt attribute. Alt attribute is often used with a image tag, so that the viewers can understand the image related information. So these were some factors that we need to consider whenever we are concerned with our page structure optimization. That is HTML page structure, proper opening and closing of a tags, then some compulsory tags that should be inserted in your website code, that is title tag, meta description tags, heading tags and image tag with the alt attribute. This is example which is provided in your textbook along with this output. The focus of this example is on the page structure of the website. So we have to see how the opening and closing of the tag is done. see in this example, check the ordering of the paragraph p tag, bold tag and italic tag. Okay, you can see that the innermost tag is closed first. Now which is innermost tag? That is italic tag. Okay, so it will be closed first. After that there is bold tag, closing bold tag, and after bold tag I have closed paragraph tag. So this and all the other tags will be closed as per order of the HTML structure. So in this the important there it is important that the tags are closed in a correct position. So we have to focus on opening and closing of the tag. And see, we have made use of a heading tag. So the first main heading, that is let us understand SEO, it is displayed in the H1 font, and then whatever content is included, there are effects of a bold and a italic both in the output. So this was an example about page structure optimization. Next, let us see second example, shows the use of a meta tag and image tag with a alt attribute. In this example, meta tag is used with important and valid keywords that are related to that. So in this example, I want to display the image of Statue of Liberty. So now you can see in first meta tag I have included the description related to my example, so that is about Statue of Liberty. Okay, in second meta tag I have included the keywords that will be focused for my this website. So now in this program is about, we have to understand the meta tag and image for optimization, as we have specified this sentence in the heading. So my keywords will be alt and optimization of image. So these two will be my keywords. Now look in the output. See, whatever description I have included in meta tag, it is not displayed in the output. You can only see the heading tag content and the alternate text that we have provided for the image. So when will this meta tag description will be displayed? If I have created the website of this program, then whatever content I have included in meta tag, it will be displayed below the link of that website. Okay, so that so whatever we have specified in meta tag, that will be a meta description. Now see, in this output, the Statue of Liberty, this image is not loaded. So before that image is loaded, instead of that, alternate text is displayed, that whatever we have mentioned in alt attribute, that is Statue of Liberty image, it is shown there before, because image is not loading here. So I can also, users can understand that this image is about a Statue of Liberty. After some time, after the image is loaded, they can see whatever image we want to display. So this was the example that shows the use of a meta description tags and image tag with the alt attribute. Next important point that we have to consider when optimizing the website is SEO keywords. So SEO keywords are important words and phrases related to the developed website content. What does this mean? Means, why do we use SEO keywords? See, I have even explained this before. How are the search engines going to rank your website? So SEO keywords is also one of the factors that search engines are going to consider whenever they are ranking your website. So it will check on the basis of how much keywords you are used in your website. Okay, on the basis of keywords, the user will be directed to your website. Okay, so whatever user is going to type in the search bar, if you have considered that words as your keyword and used those keywords in your website content, then whenever a user will type those keywords in the search bar, the search engines are going to check whether those keywords are included in your website. Okay, and if they are included in your website, then it is going to display your website in the search result. Now it is not like that you have to generate only one keyword for your website. Okay, number of keywords or list of keywords can be generated based on the information that you have provided in the website, because there are many possibilities that user can search something in a different language. Like, see, whenever we are searching something, anyone will search something as per his need. Like, see, if I'm searching, if I want to search the best books, then what are the possible keywords that someone can search? Someone will type best books, another one will type best book in the world, next keyword can be popular books, then someone can type top 10 popular books. Okay, so these are several possibilities that are related to a single concept. So all these, considering all these possibilities, we have to generate a list of keywords that we are going to use in our website. So all these list of keywords that we are going to decide, and after we have final whatever keywords we are going to target, we should use them in an appropriate position in our information. Also keep in mind that overstuffing of keyword is not allowed, as we have seen in black hat SEO technique. Overstuffing is illegal, so we should take care that overstuffing of keyword is not allowed. Now, how can we find that which keywords we are going to use can be appropriate to information that we want to display? So there are various online keyword planner tools. If you will search on the on any search engine, if you when you searched on the Google, there will be number of keyword planner tools that will be displayed. So among that, best is a Google AdWords keyword planner. It is also free of cost, so you can try it anytime. So with the help of that, you can find out what are relatable keywords that are possible to your information. Now, there are also some steps that we have to consider whenever we are planning a keyword list. So we can do keyword research and analysis. What is keyword research and analysis? It is an important part of a search engine optimization as well as search engine market. So, what is the place of a keyword? How keyword planning helps in a search engine marketing? Let's see first what is a keyword research. Now let's see what is a keyword research. Keyword research is a process of finding and analyzing search term that people enter into a search engine with the goal of using that data for a specific purpose, often for search engine optimization or general marketing. So we can say that keyword research is the first step that we always consider before designing the web page content. Because whenever we do keyword research, we try to understand that what our customer is going to search so that he will be visiting our website. Because see, as I have explained before, that whenever we are planning what keywords we have to include in our website, we need to consider all the possibilities that a customer can think. Means whenever we are planning a keyword, we act with the thinking capability of the customer. Based on that, what the customer is going to search, based on that possibilities, we can make a list of keywords, and that keywords we can use in our website content. So how can we do this? Let's try to understand this with the help of an example. Now suppose I have decided that I want to travel somewhere. So what is the first thing that I will search for? That is the best traveling places. Okay. So I will go in the Google search bar and type best traveling places in world. So there is a particular there are number of search results will be displayed. So there is one website on the top of a search result that is showing me the best traveling places in the world. So I will visit that website. Now in that website have shown me some of the best traveling locations in world. So out of that, I have selected some few of the locations like Delhi, Goa, Dubai, and what can we say, Kashmir. Okay, so these are some locations that I have selected which I want to travel. Next, what I will consider my budget. Okay, now according to my budget, I will select where can I travel. Now suppose my budget is a 50,000. So within 50,000, what are the possible locations that I can visit? Okay, so I will exclude some locations that are not possible. Like I will exclude Goa, Delhi, Kashmir, and I will select a Goa. I will think that yes, Goa is suitable for me to travel. Okay, so now I have decided to travel to Goa. Now next, I will search in Google that best places to see in Goa. So again search results are displayed in that display. So now again I am seeing that previous website, it is also in that website they have also specified the visiting that places that are best to visit in Goa. So again I have previously I have referred to that website. So again I will click on their link, and it has shown me some of the best places that I can visit in Goa. Okay, now next what will I consider? I will consider the best hotels for stay in Goa. Okay, then again I will search best hotel to stay in Goa. Again I am getting some result. Okay, same website is specifying me those results. Then I will select one of the hotel they have shown in that. Next again what will I search? Best restaurants in Goa. Then again same website is specifying me best websites. Best restaurants in Goa. And finally I have completed all my plans. So see what is happening here. I'm trying various possibilities, various searches I'm doing. What am I searching? First I have searched best places to visit, then I'm searching best places to see in Goa, best restaurants in Goa, best hotels in Goa. And what happened here, there is a particular website which is through which I'm getting all the result. That particular website is giving me all the results that I wanted. Why is this happening? Because that owner of that website has considered all the possibilities that user might search. He has included all those keywords that were possible. Like he has considered keywords like best places, then places in Goa, hotels in Goa. Okay, all these keywords he have considered. That why what happened, the search engine had ranked his website on the top results. So whenever I am designing a website and I am considering all the possibilities that a user can think related to whatever topic I am searching, and then I'm making a list of the keywords based on those possibilities and using those keywords in my web page content. So what happens here, whenever someone types those keywords or searches something in the search bar, and it is related to my keyword, then the search engine is going to display my website in the search result. So that is the most important use of a keyword planning. That's why keyword research is always important. Now next let us see what are the steps or how we can plan the keyword research. So let's see first step, that is make a list of important relevant topics based on what you know about your business. What does this means? For example, see in the last traveling example, what did we consider, that whenever we are selecting a location to travel, after that we were searching the concepts related to that location. Like I have searched best places to see in Goa, restaurants in Goa, and hotels in Goa. In the same way, whenever we are deciding to design a website, for example, now I am designing a website about digital marketing. So what is important for me? Then I will consider all the concepts that I have to explain in digital marketing. I will collect the information, make a list of possible keywords, and make a list of important topics that are related to my concept, that is digital marketing. Now, second step, fill in those topic buckets with keywords. Now as we have made a list of the keywords, so what is happening here, that whenever we are selecting a keyword, we try to insert those keywords in our information, whatever related information is. Now my topic is about digital marketing, so I will try that whenever some user is going to search about digital marketing, what are the possible searches he will, or what are the possible queries that he is going to search. Like someone can search digital marketing, another will search online marketing, someone will search online transaction. That concept is same, but the queries that users are going to type may be different. So we have to consider all the possibilities that user is going to think and then decide our keywords. So we will have to think with a thinking capability of a user. Then next, whenever I'm listing out these keywords, listing out the information, then I will try that these keywords I am going to use in my content. So that what happens when we use the keywords in our content, Whenever user is going to search something in the search bar, then search engine will consider the factors of a keyword. He will search those website whose website include the keywords that user have typed. So on basis of the use of a keywords, he is going to rank your website. So it is important that we make use of a keywords, but also keep in mind that overstuffing of keyword is not allowed. If we are using the keywords in a large amount, then whatever content we are providing, whatever information we are trying to display, it will be meaningless. There will be no correct grammar, because we are just stuffing keywords in any place. Okay, so that is not sufficient. We have to make use of a keywords, but in a limited way. Then after that, third step is understand how intent affects keyword research and analyze accordingly. Means what? In this step, we try to understand that whatever steps we are performing, or whatever keywords we are trying to use, that keywords, how much benefit we are going to gain with the use of that keywords, that we have to analyze and understand. Based on that analysis, we can decide which keyword is good for us, which keyword we have to exclude, etc. Next, step 4, research related search terms. Research related search term, it is just like we have done in a step 1. Like again, we are confirming the information. Now whatever keywords we have gained, we are trying more and more possibilities, so that we could so that we can make appropriate use of a keywords in our content. And next, last step is use keyword research tools to your advantage. Now what is keyword research tools? Like I have said before, that there are number of online keyword research planners, keyword planner tools if you search, but best one is a Google AdWords, because it is free. Now in this keyword research tool, what do they do? Whenever we are trying to open some we are trying to plan the keywords that we are going to use in a content, in that interface they will display all the possible searches that user are going to search related to the same concept. Again, they will also display the monthly activity for that query, again the price that you can bid in that website. So the best way is to use a online keyword planners tool, so that you can gain more and more ideas about the keywords that you have to use in your website. So these are the 5 important steps that we can use while planning our strategy. So that is, first is to make list of important concept. Second is make use of a keywords in our content. Third step, understand how it will affect our business or our website. Fourth is research related search term. And fifth is use of a keywords planner tool, so that we can gain more and more ideas. This is an example of a Google AdWords tool. Now see, in this I have tried to search all the related keywords related to concept of digital marketing. So I have searched, just typed in the search query that digital marketing. So this interface is showing me all the possible keyword ideas that have been generated with related to this single concept. See what are different keywords I am getting: online marketing, internet marketing, then marketing agency, and this is digital marketing, then marketing 4.0. So these are all the keywords that are possible, but related to same concept. So whenever users are trying to search something about digital marketing, they will not only type a single word. So it is possible that they are going to type some different queries. In second column you can see they are showing average monthly searches of a particular keyword only for single digital marketing. This keyword, there are 100k to 1 million searches average in a month, and competition of this keyword is very low. And last column you can see there is a bidding price, that is 6.26. Means what? On a single click, whenever user clicks on this keyword, you have to pay 6 rupees for that. Then see online marketing 10k to 100k monthly searches. Then competition of this keyword is medium, and its bidding price is 8.7. Now what is the use of this bidding price? Why we have to why we have to pay. See, for example, let's consider that I have a website in which I have mentioned about in which I am providing the digital marketing courses, and the fee of that course is 50,000 rupees. Okay, so now suppose five people are visiting my website, and on a click of my keyword I have bid price of a somewhat 5,000 rupees. So whenever user is going to click on my keyword, I have to pay 5,000 rupees. So if five people are clicking on my link, then I will have to pay 20,000 rupees, 25,000 rupees, because for a single click I am paying 5,000 rupees. Now what happens, out of 5, even 2 people are interested to apply for my digital marketing courses, and the fee for my course is 50,000 rupees. So at least I am gaining two applicants for my course, then they will pay 50,000 per, so I am getting 1 lakh rupees profit. Okay, so and that is the use of a bidding price. So in this image you can see that there are several prices for each and every possible keyword. You can try this interface, just go on the Google and type adwords.google.com, then you can see this interface. You can try, it's free of cost. So this was the use this was about keyword research. I hope you understand what this keyword means. Now next, see what's next topic. So that's all for today. In the next video we will be studying SEO, social bookmarking, SEO, social media optimization, and SEO backlink, so that and some other factors for SEO. Okay, thank you.